G'day guys, how are we all? Hope we're all doing well. Pick some locks and unite, and don't forget to even hashtag it. Keep it bloody legal. So let me get this vice out of the way for a second. I'll sit you down there. Probably wondering why I've got Schlag sitting here, my calipers and stuff. I've actually just been playing around and putting it through to test a new device or new product that I got in. Those of you that have seen it on Instagram and up on Twitter, I'm so bloody happy that it arrived. This guy that designed it is an absolute bloody legend. I've watched his videos on repeat, so much so that Blaze is probably sick of it. Especially the one breaking into a bank with a bottle of a glass of scotch. Just absolutely amazing. Big fan of this guy, which we all know him. It's Deviant. Bloody legend, he really is a fantastic guy. And as soon as I saw that he released this product, and I knew he was doing it a while ago, and just to know that he actually finally released it to actually purchase, I couldn't help myself. As soon as I found out, I purchased one and got it shipped over to Australia. And I think I'm the first person in Australia to get one. I might not be, but I'll be the first person in Australia to review it. And I'm talking about his decoder. So his awesome bloody Devious Decoder Card. So I got it from redteamalliance.com or the Red Team Tools. And this is a fantastic piece of kit for a lockpicker, locksporter, pen tester, locksmith, whatever you bloody want to be or do, or whoever you are. This thing will come in handy, whether you're a key cutter, whatever it is. You know, I do key cutting and stuff like that. And as you know, I'm looking to get me, in the process of getting me a security license for security installers and all that to go through and do everything. But this thing is bloody helpful. It really is. And I've used it quite a bit. And I did find, which Deviant did say he couldn't wait for my review, and I just sent him a personal message letting him know there is a slight flaw in this that I've noticed. I'll explain all that in a minute. Does it take away from the card? It does, but if you remember this little flaw in it, it's actually not too bad. It's only minute. I'm still really bloody happy with it and will be using it. The reason why I like this one, not only does it have more to it than the good old metal ones, but the metal ones are a bit out of date. Which, if you've seen Deviant's video, which you probably bloody haven't, if you haven't already, go and check it out. He talks about these ones, and we've all seen these, and we've all got these. I use mine all the time, which, you know, the lab, it's got Schlag, Wiser, Quickset, Westlock, Master, and you're probably thinking, well, bloody hell, that's a big-ass Master. That's because this is for the old Master lock, front door locks and stuff like that, big pins. You don't see them much these days or at all. And definitely not over here. The only one on this I really use is Quickset and Schlag. Because as you know, and I've showed you this before, you can actually decode Lockwood LW4 and LW5 keys with Schlag. It works perfect for that. You know, they give you the readout for your keys. So that's another reason why I got this. This is big, it's heavy. It's not big, it's the same size, but it's heavy. And you can tell when it's in your wallet, it just adds extra weight to your wallet. It's also metal, which you walk through a metal detector or something like that. This is going to set off the metal detector, even if it's in your wallet. Or you put it through the trays, you know, the trays that go through the x-ray machine, it's going to come up. Whereas this one is a resin. This is a thermo resin plastic. And you're probably looking, well, what's that shiny stuff lined on the insides? It is metal that's lined in there, but it is a non-ferrous metal, so it will not set off the metal detectors, funny enough, because they don't look for non-ferrous metals. So it adds a little bit of extra durability to your cutouts. Being plastic, over time it probably will wear off, but just to add a little bit of extra, you know, durability and strength to it, they've got this non-ferrous metal lining, which you can see on it. So, what does this contain compared to the other one? This is an upgrade, updated, and full-on, way better version. So you're looking at it, you're going, what are all these bloody cutouts for? Well, we've got our keys. So we've got Schlage, Quickset, Master Lock, and American Lock. This is designed more for the American keys, you know, and for use in America. I'm not, but 99% of my subscribers are. But, you know, for here in Australia, we do get Master Locks, which will bloody come in handy. We definitely do get Quicksets, which will come in handy. And the Schlage, as I said, you can convert that to use as a lockwood. That's what I use it for. So if you haven't seen that, go check out my other video. I've reviewed the small decoder, and I explain how to decode, how it translates across. And this one works perfect, exactly the same. Actually, this one gives you a bit of a better read, I find, because my actual depths are actually registering as the proper depths on here. But normally they're one number off. So 0 is your 1 cut, 1 is a 2 cut, so it goes off slightly when you're doing the LW4, LW5s. As long as you remember that little conversion, you're bloody set. But for Schlages, it works perfect. So, as I was saying, you have your keys. So not only do you have your key depths, which is the top one just here. Come on, camera, focus for me. So these are all your key depths, 0 to 9. Underneath, you got a little picture of a pin here. This is for all your key pins. So if you gut a lock out in the field, you don't know the key, you quickly pick it. You can, you know, pull it apart. You're trying to rekey a lock. You pick it open. You don't know what the bitting is or anything like that. You can actually gut your lock, like the one I've got sitting here, which I'll explain this little flaw I've noticed in a minute, which Deviant did say about. And you can actually measure all of your key pins as well. So then you can decode your lock by measuring your key pins and then cut a key to code according to the depths. And then the little one underneath just here is for your master wafers, and it gives you and they all correlate to the numbers on the cards up the top here. So for 0, you got 0 pins all the way up to 9. And then for your master wafers, you go from a 2 all the way up to a 9. So that's your spacing for the master wafers as well. Same with the quick set, you get all your key cuts, so 1 to 7, all your pins from 1 to 7, your master wafers from 1 to 6. And then for quick set, master locks, and American locks is the same thing. They both use the same. The only thing is they measure differently. Master lock goes from 0 to 7, whereas American locks go from 1 to 8. So little slight variation in it, but it all correlates in here. So if you go for you're measuring an American lock key pins, your 1 is a 1 cut for the first pin, whereas for a master lock it's a 0 cut. So that gives you your spacing in it, or your depths, I should say. So as I said, it does work perfect. I've got some Schlage keys here which have the code, the bitting stamped on it, so 89595. And of course, you put into your decoder, you go all the way across in the right one, Schlage 8. So you can see it reads up on there, 9, 5, 9, and 5. So it actually measures perfect. This is actually cut right. So you don't want to go forcing it when you go along, because if you try and force it, you can force it into a 6, but you're pushing it way out. So just slightly, you go across, and it will actually stop in the right number. So 59599 or 89595, we got that correct with this. So if you don't force it, because if you really force it, you are going to go into the wrong number. But using this with a little bit of light pressure, you will actually read on the right numbers. So that part of it does work. Now the little defect that I have found in it, that I've had the most trouble with trying to actually decode correctly, is the key pins. Now there's a very slight variation when it comes to the Lockwoods and that using the Schlage. Again, your key pins are slightly smaller, so a 0 cut won't register on here. It's way too small, and your 9 cut is actually going to come up as an 8 cut, or an 8th pin. So remember that for LW4s, for the Lockwoods, or LW5s. your 9 pins are actually going to register as an 8, and off the chart here will be your 0 cut. So that is actually the same variation when it comes to the key cuts. The pins are slightly smaller than Schlage. That's what I've noticed anyway, measuring through them with my set of key pins. And I've measured them out to what these ones are meant to be as well and everything like that. So I've gone through it and tested this thing, I can tell you that now. So the little flaw that I've found. So we know on our key, our first 2 cuts are an 8 and a 9, then we've got a 5, a 9 and a 5. And that correlates to this lock here, which I've just gutted. And as you can see, all the pins sit perfectly flush in the core. So they are the correct pins for this key. So if I take the first pin out, which we know is an 8 cut, so we're going to decode this lock just by the pin, so we can cut a key, pick up my card, and then I use my Schlage to measure out the pin. So definitely not going to be a 0. We go all the way up. It's actually going to fit through a 7 perfectly. And let me just show you, we'll go up close on the camera. So 7 cut, that fits through. I'm trying to do it through the camera. 7 fits through perfect. It's not catching, nothing. If I was to measure out these pins, I would say that's actually a 7 cut, but we know it's an 8 according to that key. I'll move up to the 8 and sit him there. It's a bit hard to see. I'm going to have to try and work around the camera here. If I don't knock it. So as you can see, it fits perfectly in the 7, but if I move it to the 8, there is a slight gap right at the top, as you can see there. It's tiny. It's about 25 thousandths of an inch gap just in the top there, between the top of the pin and the top of the card for the 8. It is very slightly off. I thought, well, maybe it's just the 8 cut. So I'll grab the next one, which we know is a 9. And I did the same with the 9 pin. And I went all the way up, and it fits perfectly in the 8. You put it into the actual 9, and again there is a gap of about 25 thousandths of an inch sitting right in the top. I even went through with my calipers and measured it, and again the same thing, measured the actual length of the pin, which correlates across to the other side of the calipers here. So I actually measured it for the 8 cut, and it will fit in the 7 cut perfectly, and the 8 again is 25 thousandths off, thereabouts. So it is ever so slightly off with the actual pin depths. I haven't found any problem with the keys. I've measured a lot of keys on it, and the keys seems to work very well. 8, again 9, 5, 9, 5. Keys work fine. I haven't found any problems with that whatsoever. They seem to work very, very well. It's just the key pins that I've noticed a problem with. So yeah, with that little flaw, it's fine. I mean, if I remember, to go down one number for the cuts of the pins, I'm fine with it. I'm actually really happy with this. I mean, yes, it is a slight defect. It's going to be annoying, but if you remember the bloody difference of one number, for which ones that, there's a slight defect on, then, it's not too bad. I'm used to it with decoding and converting actual Lockwood keys with these more than Schlage, because being in Australia, I work with Lockwoods and LW4, LW5s. Most popular lock here is a Lockwood, which is your version of Schlage. I have to minus one number all the time, so there is that slight, variation for me. I'm used to it, but for those of you in America that use this all the time for, Schlages, and you have that same defect, then it's going to be a problem for you, because, it's going to be off, and if you forget, you forget. But am I bloody happy with it? All over, yes, it's perfect to me, except for this tiny little flaw, which, is what it's meant to be for. And, I mean, no offense to Deviant, he's a bloody awesome guy, and Red Team Tools, absolutely fantastic company. Very, very lovely people, and I'll explain why in a minute. But, trying to cut one out of plastic, it is very, very difficult, and especially when you're trying to make sure it is as precise as possible. If it was metal, it'd be a lot easier, but plastic, it warps, it changes with heat, movement. So the slight little defect in this is plastic. It happens. It bows, it curves. The slightest little mishap, plastic, and it changes it a lot when you're trying to cut stuff out. Metal is a bit more forgiving when it comes to laser cutting and stuff like that, or thermo cutting, whereas this is slightly different. So I can understand a small little defect like that. Quality control, for me, I would have picked, I'd be testing them to make sure that they actually measure correctly. But if you sell a heap of them, I can understand why. But anyway, I do love it. That little defect for me will actually help me, works in my favour in a way, because of the Lockwoods and stuff like that. Now, when I say it's absolutely lovely company, I ordered this. Now, it cost me more to get this to Australia and stuff like that than what it will if you're in America. So the actual decoder itself, I've got the invoice, I just crossed out, my address and all that on it, my telephone number. Don't want any creepos calling me. You're going to pay $9 US for the actual decoder itself. For that price, it is bloody awesome. And then I paid for first class packaging, it's the only one they offered, $18.25 for shipping. Now that is American, so $27.25 American. Still, $27 for that isn't a bad bloody price. It's actually a really good price. But convert that to Australian, and it worked out to just under $40 for me. So conversion rate, I think it was $37, $38 or something like that with a conversion. So it is, a slight difference. And the reason why I say they're a lovely company, I've never received an invoice from any other company that says thank you at all. And I don't know if that's Deviant himself. I'm not sure, but because he retweeted my tweet about this decoder, saying he can't believe, it's unbelievable that someone's paid so much to get one. But, as I said, I've wanted one of these since I first heard that he was making them, and as soon as he released them, I had to get my hands on one. The guy, to me, is up on a pedestal with, all the people I look up to in the lock picking. Leon's Lockpad, who's helped me out a bloody lot, and it's great to see he hit 2,000 subscribers at the same time I did. But I'm talking about, Lockpicking Lawyer, who sometimes joins me on lives, which is great. Bosnian Bill, Lock Noob, the guys, the holy lot of pickers that I look up to and I watch their videos is Bosnian Bill, Lockpicking Lawyer, Deviant Olem, Lock Noob, and I always catch up on Leon's Lockpad's videos. And everyone else is as much as I can, but the four main guys I look to, Leon's Lockpad's just under, because he hasn't done a video in a while. But, I look up to him, and, they're the holy four of picking. This is just absolutely fantastic. I couldn't wait to get my hands on one. I ordered it, and am I impressed? Yes. Do I love it? Yes. Do I carry it around in my bloody wallet all the time? Yes. Do I show everyone I can find that's interested? Hell yeah. But yeah, slight little defect. Let me know in the comments below what you think with it. And hopefully, Deviant's not too annoyed. I sent him a private message just letting him know. I even sent an email to him saying thank you for, I'm very happy with my order, which I am. I am really happy with this. And Deviant actually emailed me back saying you're most welcome. So he really is a bloody legend. This is going to go back in my wallet. I'm going to clean this mess up. Pins and stuff everywhere. So yeah, let me know in the comments below, what do you think about that slight defect? Would it bother you? As long as you remember, it's the way I see it. But yeah, let me know. I'm going to be carrying this one around because it's definitely going to come in handy, especially with Lockwoods and stuff like that. Quick sets, which I deal with here. But yeah, I am happy. Little defect, it's alright, it happens. So anyway, I'm going to throw that back in my wallet where she belongs, which is right there. And as always follow the codes. Keep Locksport legal. You know it. Don't forget to even hashtag it. Keep it bloody legal. Jeez, I can't get my wallet back in my pocket. Oh, there we go. Don't forget, if you're looking for great equipment at very affordable and competitive prices, I'm going to check out locksmithtoolbox.com. They're a great Australian company, and as you know, that's where I get most of my lockpicking equipment from. Do I get any kickbacks from them? No, I just buy a lot of their products and haven't had a problem with it. Don't forget, if you want to get in contact with me, contact me through any of the social medias. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Where I put up post photos of what's going on in the background and all the fun stuff that happens around here. So yeah, you can contact me through any of them. Send me an email at darkartslockpicking@gmail.com. Don't forget to come and join us on Discord, the Extraordinary League of Pickers. Link in the description down below. Same as the Locksmith's Toolbox. My email's down there. And don't forget, if you're looking for some Doubt merch, like coffee cups and stickers and t-shirts and hoodies and all that stuff, you can get it at Teespring. There's a link in the description down below as well for that. And I think that pretty much covers it. Oh, Deviant Decoder, I'll leave a link to where you can purchase that from in the description down below as well. If you haven't already, go check out Deviant's video. He explains it a lot bloody better than I can, since he is the designer. Deviant, thank you. You're just a bloody legend, mate. I'm really happy with my product. Hopefully, you might be able to fix out that little bug with it. You know, but anyway, I'm waffling on enough. It's a 20-odd minute video. Have a bloody good one. I'll see you all soon. And until next time, cheers, guys. And don't forget to give a thumbs up.